What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel for another video. And today we are going over what is apparently Dead by Daylight's new Quality of Life Initiative 2025. They posted a video on their YouTube channel about 5 hours ago, 4 to 5 hours ago, as well as um, a thing on their website, like a forum page, almost like a dev blog. So we're going to listen to the video real quick. It's about 5 minutes, and then we're going to go over the dev blog together. We'll kind of break down what they're talking about in the video, and then we'll read the dev blog, which I think addresses the video. So let's hop in together.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Pope. I'm the community director here on Dead by Daylight, and we have a special update for you today. And we're going to be discussing some key changes that are coming to Dead by Daylight's roadmap, how they relate to some very important feedback that we've been reading in the community, and how we're planning to address it. So to do that, we've brought on a guest, in fact, a new face for these cameras, Mr. Jose Ramos. He is our VP and executive producer of Dead by Daylight.
Oh,
thanks, Eric. Hi, everybody. Excited to be here for the very first time.
He looks kind of like
to represent the team,
a little
to
bit
share
like
some
Matthew
details
Cote,
on our new roadmap. It's going to have a very strong focus, more than ever before, on quality of life, which is the day-to-day quality of your player experience.
Good.
Just to give a little bit of context, a big part of my role is making sure that we are putting our efforts toward the right things in the right ways in Dead by Daylight.
Right, so for example, last year our focus was on new gameplay.
Yeah, we are proud to have delivered some great new
Modes.
events, including 2v8, Chaos Shuffle, Lights Out, and we're going to come with something brand new for the Blood Moon event as well.
Okay.
But the reality is, when it comes to the quality of the experience of our players, we understand that we are simply not where we want to be.
Yeah, we've been closely tracking all the discussions about this recently in the current state of the game, and we believe and we agree that now is the time to tackle these issues head on.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
And to do this, we have made several decisions designed to help us focus directly on this topic, to our players continue to focus on the fun and nothing else.
Let's get into it.
So first, we will be delaying our upcoming release by 3 weeks, and that begins with tomorrow's PTB. Beyond that, multiple other releases and events in the 2025 calendar will also be impacted in order to give us the opportunity to truly make this quality of life push a priority.
So they're delaying
There,
all of
course, we will
the
keep an eye on
chapters
our
this year
progress
by
and
3
make
weeks.
further decision as needed.
That's not that big a deal in the grand
Readjusting
scheme.
our schedule is our way to give our teams the best chance at making the biggest impact when it comes to
If these
addressing
updates are
these
worth it,
updates.
then that's worth
And the
it.
good news is they've already been hard at work on them.
Yep, and the updates we are working on will focus on addressing long-standing player pain points, improving current systems, and tackling critical bug fixes. And taking the time for this is something we have wanted to do for a very long time. And while it will push some of our upcoming content, we are really excited to start rolling out these updates, what it will mean for our players.
Okay.
So the approach we're taking is going to be split into 2 phases. If you want to toss up the graphic.
What do we got here? All right. Phase 1, April through June, gameplay. Anti-slugging, surrender option. Okay. Gamma settings, go next prevention. I don't know what that means. Hiding and body blocking prevention. Okay. Spawn rules and map offering balancing. And improved AFK bots. Quality of life. Bulk blood point spending. Let's fucking go. I'm going to need to hear more about that. New quest system, more perk presets, preview your perks in lobby. Okay.
Phase 1 begins with our upcoming release on April 2nd and will run up to and include our anniversary release. Then phase 2 will include.
All right. Phase 2. We got anti-slugging continued improvements, anti-tunneling, anti-camping. All that's good. MMR update, map and key item balancing. Okay, because right now those items are fucking useless. And then quality of life, keyboard on and mouse on consoles. Interesting. Custom game improvements, accessibility improvements, prestige rewards. Nice. And reduced login steps. Okay.
Everything that comes
I'm
after
gonna need to hear
anniversary
more.
for the rest of the calendar year.
So in the short term, leading up to and during anniversary, our players can expect to see multiple issues addressed. So that includes first, adjustments to the slugging issues facing players in the game. So we want to deal with this in multiple iterations. This is a complex topic. The first of which is the introduction of a surrender option, and that will be included as part of our next release.
Okay.
Following that, we will be testing another design as part of an iteration of Chaos Shuffle this summer.
And not to leave out our console players, we're going to actually be introducing a new setting to allow players to adjust their in-game gamma.
Okay.
Also, we often see complaints about the Go Next epidemic, about survivors hiding to hold matches or stage, and killers body blocking. We will be introducing designs to help with each of these issues. Other items we will deliver include enabling bulk blood point spending to fast track leveling up in the blood web, the introduction of the new challenge system, and much more.
So we know that you probably have a lot of questions. You want to know more detail about exactly what we're going to be focusing on. The good news is you can head over right now to deadbydaylight.com.
We have that up.
We've got a deep dive article explaining what we're planning, and you can dig into the details there. And of course, as with any work on any game, including Dead by Daylight, priorities might shift as we dig deeper into these issues, but it's our intention that most, if not all, of these issues will be meaningfully addressed in the coming months.
All right.
So you can look for Eric and I and other members of the team to be back for another catch-up during the anniversary stream. That's where we will give you a breakdown of all the updates we have made during that time and share the rest of our commitments for dealing with player experience that make up phase 2 of this initiative.
Okay.
That will include things like anti-tunneling, custom game improvements, and more. This will take us essentially through the rest of 2025.
But on top of that, I know this is important to folks too. We have a big list of bug fixes that we're going to be going through to help address a bunch of the long-standing pain points that you have in the game. And in the meantime, you can keep an eye on our channels across social media for more updates as they make their way into the game. And until then, we'll look forward to the PTB, which is now on March 11th. And I will see you again in our next chapter release broadcast
new
on
chapter.
April 2nd.
And as always,
The new chapter comes out April
to our entire community
2nd.
for playing Dead by Daylight, and of course for your amazing
And the
feedback.
PTB for it'll
See
be
you
March
later.
11th. So we learned that just now. Okay. So let's close that out. Let's get to reading about this. All right. So, Dead by Daylight team announces several roadmap updates and previews, a lineup of gameplay changes, quality of life updates, and general game health improvements to come. Dead by Daylight will be undergoing a substantial quality of life initiative, which should address many long-standing concerns and frustrations our players have been experiencing. This initiative will take place over the course of 2 phases. The first runs from April to June, while the second runs from July to December. For a full look at what's scheduled, check out the roadmap below. This is what we paused and looked at. So let's get more into detail. To accommodate for the scope of this initiative, we have decided to delay several of our upcoming releases, including chapters, rifts, event modifiers, and collections. That means there will not be a PTB tomorrow, but rest assured that we did not make this decision lightly. We feel confident that delaying our upcoming releases to prioritize this quality of life initiative will ultimately make Dead by Daylight stronger than ever. We're always listening to our players, and this has been a long time coming. Looking for a more comprehensive breakdown of everything lined up in phase 1, we've got you covered. All right. So, surrender state. The team has been working on a surrender feature, which should limit player frustration on both sides. To get it right, we first need to identify the situations where it would be most appropriate, leading us to 2 scenarios. All remaining survivors have been slugged for survivor, or all remaining survivors are bots for killer. Okay? Once these instances occur, players will be able to use the surrender option, ending the trial while retaining the blood points they've earned and escaping the disconnect penalty. Okay, I'm fine with that. We're all annoyed when we get slugged out for the rest of a match. As a killer, if the only thing you have left is 2 bots, you don't feel like chasing them down. I can get behind that, and it's a choice. So if you want to try and do something else, you can. I'm all for this. That's a healthy change for the game, in my opinion. The only thing is, I'm worried that it might encourage slugging, because then the killer will be like, haha, I can make people quit. So I'm a little worried about that. Gamma adjustments. Dead by Daylight can get a little dark, not just thematically, and sometimes excessive darkness can hinder playability. We're introducing the ability to adjust gamma settings on all platforms, allowing you to find a sweet spot without sacrificing the intended artistic direction. Okay. Go next prevention. I don't know what that is. The go next expression refers to the instances where a survivor deliberately does everything in their power to quickly go to their next game, including walking up to the killer and standing still, running to a hook and repeatedly pointing at it, or most commonly, intentionally failing skill checks while on a hook. To disincentivize and properly penalize this behavior, we'll be implementing measures that will help us identify when a player is attempting to go next. Once identified, they'll receive a disconnect penalty point and lose an entire grade. Whoa. We'll be keeping a close eye on the system to ensure its accuracy, but we're confident that this will help alleviate the issue. On the other hand, we'd like to reward players who stick it out throughout those challenging matches, even when things take a dire turn. We'll be moving forward with a new emblem-based multiplier that grants additional blood points during your following match, with the bonus stacking over consecutive trials. Interesting. Okay. Extreme hiding and body blocking prevention. Extreme hiding refers to survivors drawing out an unwinnable match by ignoring their objective and waiting out the clock. To combat this, we're changing the way AFK crows operate so that they can more accurately identify when a player is deliberately avoiding engagement with their gameplay objective. Once a player receives crows, their location will be immediately revealed to the killer. We'll also be incorporating a feature that allows players to lose collision after receiving a third crow, which should prevent instances of body blocking related griefing. Okay. I think this can be healthy. I think they're going to need to figure out a good way to deal with the crows, how they spawn, because sometimes a crow can pop up and it's because you've been hiding in a locker, but you might be hiding in that locker because the killer's proxying. So there's going to be conversations that have to be had about that. Map offerings. We recognize that map offerings are a bit divisive. Some players enjoy them while others feel they can grant an unfair advantage. The fact they automatically bypass both the map and realm repetition system can also add to that frustration. Moving forward, map offerings will no longer guarantee the appearance of a given map, but rather increase its chances by 20%. Note that they will not stack. We're also looking to make it so map offerings, as well as several other types of offerings, will remain a secret during load-in. That way, your decision to remain in the match will not be swayed by external factors. I think that is healthy. Changing it so that offerings are secret is a healthy thing. Spawn rules. Survivor spawn placements can have a significant impact on the trial's outcome. An observation that has been repeatedly recognized by our community. It becomes clear that survivors spawning separately and therefore covering more ground also allows them to gain a notable advantage in completing their objective. We're changing the default survivor spawn rules to ensure that each survivor will spawn within 12 meters of one another on the same floor if applicable. To accommodate for this change, shroud offerings will be adjusted accordingly. Ugh, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Because, like, in a way that's good, but in a way that's bad. And it's applicable for both sides. Because, like, now I run Lethal Pursuer. Even if you bring Distortion to avoid my lethal, I know you're near this area because I can see the other three people, and I know you're within 12 meters of them. So, I don't know. That's obviously that's a situation where it's like it's a niche situation, but still, it takes away game sense and just makes easy pickings. I don't know how I feel about that. Improved AFK bot detection. Players that use AFK bots can be frustrating to have in your trial, and we're working on improvements to our detection systems so that we can quickly identify and penalize them accordingly. Bulk blood point spending. To speed up general blood web activity, we're adding a button that allows you to spend blood points in bulk. I wish you would have given me a little bit more details on what this means, because this is the one thing I'm super excited about, but we'll get more info. Quest system. Previously announced last year, the quest system is part of our larger update to Archives and Rifts, so expect more information in an article specifically dedicated to that. For now, know that we'll be reworking the challenge system as well as daily rituals to reduce the grind, making it easier to earn rewards and increase the overall level of fun. Perk loadouts and previews. After a successful round of A/B testing, we'll be allowing players to see their own perk loadouts while in a lobby, as well as adding additional perk loadout slots. We believe these changes will be an overall benefit to Dead by Daylight's health, further establishing a positive gaming environment for all our players. We'd also like to thank you for your patience and understanding during this time. We'll be back at our anniversary broadcast in May to recap Part 1 and provide deeper insight in Part 2 of our roadmap. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let's just go piece by piece real quick. The surrender state, this is healthy, but I'm concerned it may increase the amount of slugging. I feel like that doesn't create anti-slugging. I feel like that creates an answer to slugging, but it doesn't create anti-slugging. I feel like we need some other kind of anti-slugging, whether that be some kind of, if three people are down, are in the dying state all at once, then Unbreakable activates or something. I don't know. There specific spots on the map becoming a spot you can crawl to pick yourself back up. Things like that. There has to be answers, though. I don't know what those answers can be, but there has to be an answer to slugging to prevent slugging. This doesn't prevent slugging. This just makes it so we can get out of a match after being slugged. So I feel like this almost becomes the go next issue that they're talking about. It's a good concept. It's a good first step, but I think we need more than this to really get rid of the slugging issue. Gamma adjustments, that's just healthy. Go next prevention. Again, I think that this is very interesting. We'll need to see how that works in application, but it is definitely interesting. Extreme hiding and body blocking. I think the second part, working on incorporating a way for after third crow you get collision prevention, is good. I think auto revealing for crows isn't a bad thing, but I think they need to rework how quickly you get crows, things like that. Map offerings. I think this is okay, but I think 20% is a little low. I would probably make it like 80%, or make it so they can stack one or another. Maybe make it 25% and they stack, so that if all 4 survivors bring a map offering, it's just guaranteed. Because I will say this also completely negates the offering that makes it so that no map offerings work, because they don't even really work now with this. So we'll see about that. Not a big fan of the spawn rules. I don't think that's a necessary change, but I guess I'll have to see how it works in application. AFK bot detection. I don't feel like that's an issue too often, but that's fine. Bulk blood point spending, I'm very excited for, but I need more information on quest system. I'm curious to see what that'll end up entailing. And perk loadouts is healthy. So overall, we got some really healthy things in here. Some things I'll need to see more about, but nothing I'm looking at and saying this is bad for the game. So that is the Dead by Daylight Quality of Life Initiative 2025 Phase 1 information. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about all these things. Let me know what you guys are hoping some of them mean for the ones we have less info on, and what you're looking forward to in Phase 2. I'm definitely curious to see more about that Prestige Rewards tab, and what they have for anti-tunneling and continued improvements on anti-slugging. And definitely that map and key item balance, because those items are just useless now. But let me know what you guys think. And with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. As always, I am Pip. Y'all are the greatest, and when in doubt, we'll see you in the fog. See ya!